Hi everyone, welcome back to Feeding Ravendoodles, a pet parent's guide to nutrition. Today's topic is part 2 of how to pick a pet food, assessing the pet. So now that you've seen part 1, assessing the diet, and you've chosen a reliable manufacturer, you can now assess your pet and find out if certain diets are going to have the right components for your pet, based on a variety of factors we'll talk about. So first, you're going to want to pick a food that is designated for whatever life stage your pet is in. So there's either growing, adult, or lactating or pregnant mothers. That's going to be a label designation on the back of the bag. So the American Association of Feed Control Officials, or AAFCO, just like we talked about in the last video, has a set of nutrient profiles for dogs and for cats, but they also have separate nutrient profiles within the species that are designated for growing animals, so puppies or kittens, mature animals, or adult dogs or cats, and pregnant or lactating mothers. So, whichever category your pet falls into, you're going to want to buy a food that is specifically formulated for that life stage. The reason being is because different life stages are going to require different percentages of each nutrient. So like for puppies and kittens, they require higher percentages of certain nutrients like calcium so that it can support their quickly growing bones. Just like with pregnant and lactating mothers, they have a lot of stress put on their bodies when they have to nourish their young. So they also need high percentages of calcium and fat in their diets, and that's just not formulated in a regular adult maintenance diet. So you definitely need to pick a diet that is specific for either puppies or kittens or pregnant or lactating mothers. Non-neutered pets are going to require more energy than their neutered or spayed counterparts. So this means that they're going to need to take in more energy each day. This is because pets that have their reproductive organs are going to have more hormones and they're going to have a faster metabolism than their spayed and neutered counterparts, so they're going to need to eat more. So they might benefit from foods that have a higher calorie density, so more calories per cup, so that you can feed them smaller volumes but they still get more energy. Nowadays, people have pets that are living a lot longer than they have in the past, and there has been a real demand for senior diets. So a lot of pet food companies do make senior diets, but it's important to keep in mind that there are no specific legal or labeling requirements for these diets. So right now, seniors just eat adult maintenance food, and some diets will change around the percentages of the ingredients a little bit to make it a little more senior friendly. So there are some ingredients or nutrients that might be beneficial for seniors, such as increased joint support through increased fatty acids or glucosamine and chondroitin supplements. There is also higher protein, so as adult animals get older, they might have muscle wasting. It depends on, the activity level and everything of the pet, but usually senior diets might have a high protein, and this could benefit the animal potentially. And so they also might have some other supplements in them as well, but it is good to be wary of senior diets and try and figure out what makes it a senior diet, and what the company is really advertising it for, because right now the research is still pretty new on senior diets, and there's no real push yet for an entirely new nutrient profile to be put out for senior pets. So just be wary of senior diets. So you're also going to want to pick a food that is designated for your pet's health status. So if you have a regular, normal, healthy adult animal, you're just going to want to pick a typical adult maintenance diet. But if your pet has been diagnosed with a disease like kidney disease, bladder stones, anything else like that, you're definitely going to want to go through your veterinarian and have them prescribe a therapeutic diet for you. This is because certain diseases are actually very sensitive to changes in the diet, and they're also best managed through diet. So take kidney disease, for example. Kidney disease is a chronic condition that is usually seen in older animals, and the best way to treat kidney disease is with a therapeutic diet. So some pet food companies have therapeutic lines that are only available through veterinarians or by prescription, and they're specifically formulated to treat kidney disease or other conditions. So definitely, if your pet has been diagnosed with a certain disease, go to your veterinarian and ask them about therapeutic diets if they haven't already prescribed one for you. So the next thing you're going to want to keep in mind when picking your pet's food is your pet's weight and body condition score. So weight and body condition score are two different things, but you're definitely going to want to keep both in mind when you're picking their food. So talk to your vet, definitely, if you believe that your pet might be overweight or obese, or on the other side, might be underweight. This is because your vet can help you formulate the right diet and exercise plan to help your pet get back on the right track to a good body condition score. It'll also help you calculate the right number of calories for your pet to eat. For pets that might be overweight or prone to obesity, they could benefit from diets that are lower in calories per cup, so they have a lower calorie density. This means that you can feed the pet more volume, but they can get the right amount of calories or even a little less calories to help them lose weight. Pets that might be thin or underconditioned could benefit from a food that is higher in calorie density, so they have more calories per cup, and this is going to help you feed the pet a smaller volume while giving them more calories to get them back up to a healthy body condition score. So the next thing you're going to want to take into consideration is your pet's activity level and lifestyle. So there's a couple things you can look for in a diet to address these needs. One being kilocalories per cup, again, calorie density. So pets that are lazy or couch potatoes, they don't do much exercise, they could benefit from a diet that is lower in calories per cup so that you can feed them a little more so they'll feel fuller, but they'll be getting the right amount of calories for their activity level. Likewise, pets that are extremely active, pets that go on runs or hikes with you, or pets that are working or herding breeds, they might need more energy in their diet, so you can pick pet food that has more calories per cup. You might also want to take into consideration protein. So protein is something that is all the rage right now. Every diet is high protein. But in reality, pets that are normal activity level or even slightly above normal activity level, they really only need a maintenance level of protein, which is about 20 to 30%, depending on if it's a dog or a cat. However, if your dog is very active, or like I said, if it's a herding or working breed, they might require more protein to help rebuild all the muscle they're working and using when they're exercising. So you might want to pick a pet food that is a little bit higher in protein if you have one of these active breeds or an extremely active animal. Very active animals might also benefit from added fatty acids or joint supplements to help their joint health. Another thing you might want to keep in mind is breed, especially for you dog owners. So some companies have actually created breed-specific diets where they've taken into consideration multiple different factors from a certain amount of dog breeds, and they've created diets for them specifically. So they'll take into account things like nutrient requirements, for example. So dogs that are extremely active or working breeds, they're going to require higher percentages of protein, like we talked about earlier. So they might have a higher protein than, let's say, toy breeds, for example. They also take into account the dog's jaw size and shape. So if they have a large, strong jaw, they're going to get bigger, harder to break kibbles that are going to encourage the dog to chew. They also take into consideration things like hair coat, so they might have increased fatty acids, or they take into account dogs that might eat really quickly, like Labradors. So they'll also have bigger kibbles that are encouraging that dog to chew. So if you do have a specific breed of dog and you might want to consider breed-specific diets, definitely check these out. So large breed dogs might also benefit from diets that are made specifically for large breeds. So like we talked about in the life stage section, large breed puppy is also a new life stage. So large breed puppies grow extremely fast, and they're going to have specific nutrient requirements that are actually different than smaller breeds. So they're going to actually have less calcium to increase controlled bone and joint growth and health, so that they don't get disease associated with bones and joints. So large breed adults might also have slightly altered nutrient requirements, and they could benefit from a large breed specific diet. These large breed specific diets might include things like joint supplements or increased fatty acids to promote joint health, and they might also have a higher calorie density, so more calories per cup, to ensure that you can feed a smaller volume, but the pet still gets the right amount of nutrients that they need. Breeds with long hair or breeds that are prone to skin issues might benefit from diets that are higher in fatty acids, so this is going to help promote skin and coat health. So these diets will specifically be marketed to dogs that have long hair or skin issues. You also might see diets that are for sensitive skin. So definitely check out, why they're being called sensitive skin first of all, and see if they do have like a slight increase in the amount of fatty acids to help the skin and coat. One more thing you might want to keep in mind is your pet's eating habits. So if your pet's a fast eater, if they constantly bolt down anything you give them, then you might want to consider a kibble that is larger in size that's going to encourage them to chew and increase their chewing time so that their food goes down slower and easier. You could also consider adding wet food to their diet or canned food, which will also slow that chewing time down. If your pet is a really slow or picky eater, you could also consider a canned food, because canned food usually has a stronger scent and which will be more enticing to your pet. You could also add warm water to kibble to do the same thing, to increase that smell and to encourage them to eat. If your pet is a scavenger, if they steal your food or if they counter-serve, they could have a problem where they don't feel full enough. So this also is seen in animals that are only fed once a day or twice a day. So maybe they're getting hungry in between meals. So you could consider a food with a lower calorie density, so there's less calories per cup, so you can feed them a bigger volume and they're still getting the right number of calories. You could also consider feeding multiple smaller meals per day, or even consider an automatic feeder, especially for cats, because we all know that they like to wake us up in the middle of the night because they're starving. So now you're finally armed with everything you need to go out and pick the right pet food. So picking a pet food is never an easy or fast process. It takes a long time, a lot of effort, and frankly research to find the right manufacturer that's going to create a food that meets all of your pet's needs. So in part 1 of this video, we talked about picking a pet food manufacturer that's reliable, honest, and trustworthy. It's going to employ experts, do feeding trials and research, and it's going to have extensive quality control. In this video, part 2, we talked about assessing your pet and making sure that a diet is going to meet all of your pet's needs based on life stage, activity level, breed, and eating habits. When you're choosing a pet food, it's extremely important to be objective. So following the guidelines that I've set out for you in part 1, assessing the diet, and part 2, assessing the pet, is going to help you be as objective as possible in selecting the right food for your pet. It's also going to help you not fall for marketing tactics, fun slogans, or pretty pictures that you might see on the pet food label, and just focus on the most important components. Another component that's extremely important to many pet owners is cost of the food. I would encourage you to go through all the steps laid out in part 1 and part 2 of this video, and then narrow it down to a handful of diets that are going to fit your budget best. Choosing a food that's going to help your pet look, act, and feel good is extremely important. High quality doesn't always mean expensive, and expensive doesn't always mean high quality. What's most important here is picking a reliable manufacturer and picking a diet from that manufacturer that's going to fit your pet's needs the best. Thanks so much for watching this how-to video on picking a pet food. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with your friends. Check out the video's description below for links to all the resources and extra reading materials that I provided for you. And leave any comments down below if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions for future video topics. Next time, we're going to be talking about how to read a pet food label. Say bye, Raven. Oh, she's sleeping.